All right, so Lamar Jackson name keeps popping up in the Detroit Lions as a potential landing spot. Well, Lamar Jackson, Detroit Lions name keep coming up as a potential landing spot for Lamar Jackson. Let's talk about it. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance, get notifications. We go live or drop video. Pro Football Network, had an insert Ian Wharton, a writer from the Cleveland.com, and then it was another writer out there who said that the Detroit Lions could, be a good landing spot, and some of them were saying that that make them championship caliber. And I keep telling people say, well, people act like Jared Goff to have a great year. It's not about him having a great year. Can you sustain that success? That's why people looking at Bryce Young, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, potentially to take the torch from Jared Goff at some point. C.J. Stroud, Tanner McKee, whoever it may be, Hendon Hooker, to take the torch from him. You got to understand, just because you had a great year, it doesn't guarantee you're going to have a great next year or a great career. If that's the case, the Rams would have stuck with Jared Goff. They didn't believe. Just because you have just because the trend and you peak, it don't mean you ever going to reach that peak again. The trend can go down here. The trend can stay. It can tread. It can drop a little bit, or it's the potential to go up. But people just fascinated on people fascinated on the trend of him playing well last season. And you got to understand, at the end of the 2021 season, he played well, and he started off on some bullshit this season. Now, a lot of the bullshit that he was on this season had a lot to do with injuries. But that's the thing about Lamar Jackson. He done a lot with less in Baltimore. That's the thing about it. He done a lot with less in Baltimore. So people look at it and say, you know what? If the Lions did give up, let's say 6 and 2 and the 2-2s for Lamar Jackson, right? Or 6 and 18 for Lamar Jackson, whatever the combination is, you look, you say, man, you still O-line, receivers, you got some defensive help coming back. You know what I'm saying? If you still can add some players here and there. So it becomes very, very interesting there with adding players. Now, people say, well, you still wouldn't be able to boost. Like, you looking at quantity. If he say we give you 6 and we give you a 2 and we give you a 3, or they able to find some type of common ground, because you say, well, I can't give you 6 and 18 because I gotta pay this dude. So we gotta pay him, and I gotta waste my time for my offseason restructuring. What I tell you, I'll give you 6 and I'll give you a 2 and I'll give you a future 2 or 3, and it'll be, based on performance or based on performance in some way. That's what it would be. And that's kind of what my sticking point would be. I'm not giving up both first round picks for Lamar, because I gotta pay him. Now, if somebody want to beat that offer, guess what? It's more of a necessity than a need. But if I can go 6 a second and do something in the future that's tied to performance based, I'll do it. You do it, and or you go 6 this year and the first next year and say, that's what I can do. Because I gotta pay him. And they probably point, well, this is what Denver gave up for Russell Wilson. They had to pay him, and this, that, and the third. And at that point, guess what? I don't need to. I'm in a position to draft a quarterback. What other team gonna will and deal somebody where y'all can draft him, and y'all got to play him next year, or y'all got to roll with the backup? So I can give you 6 right now, and you get some shit later, and we can, you can get a premium quarterback right now. And at the end of the day, it's more of a necessity than a need. I definitely agree with that. But at the same time, you into the championship contenders. Especially, and some things gonna have to go right, but especially if you can get Onwuzurike right, or you can still fit in a Hargraves in there in your defense, and you can sew that up, and maybe you could talk to Levante David. Inside linebackers don't cost that much. You can shore it up from there, and you can find you a cornerback out there, maybe Greedy Williams or something like that, then you'd be good. But it would hamper you from a draft standpoint of view. But guess what? I mean, you love quantity and picks. You love being able to fill out the roster. But and the way I look at it too, Jared Goff is a top 5 quarterback in the NFC right now. Lamar Jackson will be the best quarterback in the NFC coming over to Detroit. He didn't have the O-line that he had in Baltimore. He have here. He don't have the weapons. You give him Jameson Williams. You give him St. Brown. You give him DJ Shark. You give him Josh Reynolds. You know what I'm saying? He don't have them weapons. He gonna make DeAndre Swift better. He gonna make Jamal Williams better. He gonna make Justin Jackson better. He gonna make all the running backs better. You know, defensively I understand that will be where the question arises at. You know, can you bank on, and that's why we so hell bent on bringing Jalen Carter in, because we don't know what we gonna get from Anazorki. That's the problem. We know we're gonna get from Pascal. We've seen a little bit of him, but Anazorki is this the key? And I don't think anybody want to play the lottery betting on Anazorki to stay healthy. So that's the one of the holes you got to fill. Inside linebacker, you got to fill that hole. You know what I'm saying? And you can draft somebody, but it takes years to kind of quarterback that defense from that position. So you look at Levante David, you want to do something, you probably do it there. In free agency, you want to do something with Hargraves, or Deron Payne, you probably want to do something there. You know, and you want to go, you know, so it's a couple of things that they would have to shore up. You know, they would have to shore up, but in the back end, they're good. In the back end with the safeties, you just need that one veteran corner that's gonna come in and stabilize, or stabilize that core. You know, and that's another thing. So it's only so much, you know, what you giving up. If you say we're gonna give up one in the 2 tools this year, and we just gonna bite the bullet this year, then 18 becomes like, because you don't have a 3 this year neither. So 18 becomes like, you gotta get somebody that you gotta depend on. So it'll be interesting. It'll strap them a bit. But I mean, you can't. I mean, do you want to, you know, compensation wise, do you want to get it over this year and say, shit, it's over with? Or would you like to say, would you like to say, you know, we can spread out between this year and next year, and we'll bite the bullet. We give you 6 this year, we give you a first next year, and a third or something like that, and bite the bullet. So, you know, but at the end of the day, it's a necessity. But you look, Lamar would instantly be the best quarterback in the NFC next year, especially if Rodgers leave, and you would definitely be riding, you know, shotgun, especially if you're able to get some defensive help at inside linebacker, interior lineman, in a veteran corner to go with this team. So, and it'll make it easier to get free agency to take deals to play over here with Lamar. So it'd be interesting. But it's a lot more that go into it. But it's keep coming up. But I don't see it happening. I think Jared Goff is fine, but I would do it. But that's just me and maybe the fan in me. But hey, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Appreciate the love, support. Hit my link tree, find me everywhere else around social media. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.